And once you're there, you select No Sweat Intro, and you can click any available. And you can scroll through all the times. This is an easy way if you have a friend who you know wants to sign up or anything like that, or if you want to schedule a nutrition appointment. Same way you would do it, right here, just like that. And with that, let's get into our show. Welcome to week 2 of the Prog.cast. You have your host here this week, Nick, and you also have the owner of Progression Fitness, Josh Grinnell.
How's it going, guys?
Last week, we did some question and answer. This week, here's what we have going on, okay? We are going to go through a bunch of questions today. We have really, really good questions this week. We have upcoming events going on, okay? We already talked about last week. We had the New Way seminar. That was a huge, huge success. As far as upcoming events go, Turkey Throwdown, you're going to be hearing more and more about that in the upcoming weeks. After we get through test week, be prepared with that. Be thinking about your teams. There's no gender restrictions, so it could be 4 guys, it could be 1 girl, 3 guys, 1 girl, whatever you want to do. Okay, it's going to be perfect. And just have your team ready to go. Lots more information being released on that. That's really the only event I can think of coming up in the near future. I think there's going to probably be some more sprinkled in than before. What do you got, Josh? Anything?
Is Halloween before Turkey Throwdown?
Oh, Halloween's way before it. So Turkey Throwdown's way out there. Excuse me, I'm off my rocker here today. Anyways, let's go ahead. We have a lot of great questions today, and we're actually, so we're going to get right into that as soon as we can, and I'll probably spur some more talk and ideas for that as we go. So, moving on to our question and answers. Our first question. Could you please inform everybody how to register for Beyond the Whiteboard? It's such a great tool to use. And of course we can. And to do that, what we're going to do actually is we're going to do a screen capture here. And I'm going to take you through how you would sign up for Beyond the Whiteboard and how you would use it. So bear with me for just a second here as we go to our screen capture. Ooh, that's creepy. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to sign in, and it's going to have my login in here, but we're going to get rid of that. Actually, it won't. So, and then we're just going to hit the sign up button instead. Okay, after you've gone to beyondthewhiteboard.com. Once you're here, it looks like I've already entered one in. I made up a fake name, Bob Jones, email, everything like that. Now I know somebody's actually named Bob Jones, so it's not a fake person. I'm sure they're real. You'll hit next, and then you're going to search for affiliate. In this case, we're listed as CrossFit Progression on Beyond the Whiteboard.
I don't know if it's working, Nick. I don't think the screen capture's working.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know why. Here we go. Screen capture is coming up now. So we are signed in. I'm going to go back a step or two.
There you go. Whoa.
So now we're caught up. Sorry about that, gang. Okay, so we're at Beyond the Whiteboard. You're going to click sign up in the upper corner. Again, I made up a fake account here. Bob Jones at info@cfbfit.com is my email.
Bob Jones.
Do you go to a CrossFit affiliate? Why, yes, you do, Bob Jones. And then all you're going to search for here is CrossFit Progression. And you're going to see us, and you'll hit next. Once you're there, you're going to type in your affiliate members code, and we'll write this in the show notes, but it's just Prog 406. I know, right? Wow. Weird. I wonder where we got any inspiration for the podcast name. We'll hit submit.
Should be Prog 406 should be the name of the show.
That should be the name of the show. And then now I'm going to have to do email confirmation. make up a password. Yeah. Perfect. It already had my birthday in there. Great. We're going to create my account. I'll spam the info account, which will be fantastic. And we're going to continue to Beyond the desktop version of Beyond the Whiteboard. We're going to spend a lot of time on this today, just a couple more minutes. So here's your home screen. So Bob Jones has an account. And please feel free to ask questions as we're doing this. Josh is checking his phone, so he'll answer anything you might have. And you can see we're at our homepage here, and what you immediately see is all of our calendars is loaded with the workouts that we have every single week. So let's say today's Wednesday. And you can see our legendary workout today. 5 rounds of time for time, double kettlebell farmer's carry, 60 jump rope singles, bear crawl fort. Actually, that was a couple weeks ago. But you guys get the point. Today is the 22nd and whatnot. And if you look down, it goes beyond just tracking your workouts, your lifestyle log. Look down here. How many hours did you sleep? How much water did you consume? How much mobility work did you do yesterday? How did you eat yesterday? You get to decide. Fish oil yesterday, and how did you feel? It actually reminds me a lot of Whole Life Challenge, but on a daily basis. So if you like that, you know what Whole Life Challenge is, you're going to love it. Now look over here on the side. We already have all these people who are commenting and showing their results, so you can compare yourself from the day to what you did. Okay, we have movement modalities. This is a sample of what your modality graph will look like after a few workout logs. So this is going to tell you what you focus on most. Let's click View Movement History for just a second. That's pretty cool. So you can get an idea of what you spend way too much time on, what you don't spend enough time on, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are. It will actually give you a score. So if I go back to my home profile, Bob Jones, that's a great picture. All right. And eventually what's going to happen is it's going to give you a workout score right in this upper corner. I haven't logged any workout session, so you won't see anything from here. But you guys kind of get the idea. Any questions coming in?
Nope, our 12 viewers are pretty quiet.
Okay, that's all right. But anyways, again, that is how you sign up for Beyond the Whiteboard. Let's continue with more questions. Switch.
Tim, where are you?
Oh, here we go. Our next question today, we're going to do quick fire here. If you had to be a vegetable, which one would you be? Or what is your favorite vegetable?
Which one would I be?
Yeah. That seems like two questions to me. If I could be a vegetable...
Why?
I'd probably be a cucumber. They're fresh.
Okay.
They're fresh.
Until they're not.
Until they're not. So I guess kind of being a vegetable maybe wouldn't be great. So favorite vegetable has got to be, for me, broccoli or cucumber. What about you, Josh?
You stole my answers, Nick.
So you have a couple of broccoli.
Broccoli is probably my favorite. I eat it almost every day.
Yeah, me too. Broccoli life. Next
Yep.
question. Do you think Peak Froning could take on Peak Fraser?
Nope.
Nope. I think Fraser in a landslide would destroy Peak Froning.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about it.
Well, now that Froning's concentrating on his diet, he might have a chance.
Yeah, isn't he with RP, Renaissance Periodization now or something?
Yeah, something like that. Not Domino's Pizza.
Not. Next question. If you had to recommend one piece of fitness-related literature, what would it be? I'll start with one. I really like Rob Wolf's Paleo Solution. If you're just getting into learning how to eat and dieting and whatnot, it's a little dense, but he actually what's funny about the book is he gives outs throughout the chapters. So like, hey, if you don't want to read the scientific part, just skip to this page. And you can just get the answers you're looking for. I think that's a really good place to start, and that's actually going to tie in well with one of our later questions we'll come back to. Josh, you got any literature you like? Maybe something different from nutrition?
Well, like Spartan Up, it's a pretty simple book to read. It's quick. What else? I know you were ripping on this, but Mind Gym is pretty good.
Oh, I wasn't ripping on it. I was ripping on it that people are just finding it. Yeah. Mind Gym is awesome. Mind Gym's a really good mental focus book. There's some old school stuff too.
Super Squats is really poorly written, but really good.
Super Squats is insane. Oh my god. Be careful if you look at Super Squats. They have some pretty crazy recommendations. Talk to a coach if you think you're going to do Super Squats.
Yeah.
The diet is not necessarily recommended that goes with it. Talking from somebody who has the experience of drinking a gallon of milk a day, don't do it. One more book. God, there's a lot of good books out there. Okay, I know fitness literature. If you haven't taken a gander at the CrossFit Level 1 manual,
Oh, yeah.
that's a great read. It's free on the internet. We'll link that up in the show notes.
I'm trying to look at my Audible account here and see what I've been listening to.
Yeah, so the CF Level 1 manual is a PDF, and the new one's really cool because it has tons of pictures and stuff like that. Fitness-related literature. Kelly Starrett's Supple Leopard. We talked about that last week. We had videos about Kelly Starrett and mobility. Look at it. I think it's been returned to our library, so you can check it out. Don't leave the gym with it, maybe, or bring it back the next day. So
Non-fitness book, but a great story is Shoe Dog.
Oh, Shoe Dog is a great. Thanks. Shout out to Dr. Ryan Green for the recommendation on Shoe Dog. Great listen if you have a few minutes on Audible. Quick read as well. So awesome. Next question. We could do a whole show probably on fitness-related literature. That's an idea. We'll do a book review show.
Yeah.
It's great. Coming soon.
When I look down at my phone, my balding is really nice.
That's why I wear a hat. Yeah. Have you guys ever considered hosting Festivus? It is, after all, for the rest of us. I'm glad Josh is here.
Oh, we could have a whole show on this, too.
We could have a whole show on this. So I'm going to preface this, and I'm going to let Josh take what actually happened. Too bad Michael's not here because he actually dealt with it, I think.
Yeah, we've tried to get Festivus multiple times. Usually they tell us that we're too close to La Crosse or Chanhassen, and then they give it the detour. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going on.
There's not much we can do about it.
No, they say, "Oh wow, you guys have a lot of interest." Yep, we do, and our gym is
huge.
Massive.
Our gym
perfectly
is huge.
Set up for that competition. So,
you could even have an indoor warm-up area.
Yeah, if you want to, you could even go to the bathroom inside,
which is a very novel concept. Yeah. So it's not that we don't want to host Festivus; we would love to because we think we do a great job with it.
PM them on Facebook, let them know.
Yeah,
we're still here.
In their comment section, ask why haven't you let Progression Fitness in Rochester, Minnesota host Festivus?
Yeah.
Otherwise, my idea was always we should start our own called Festivos.
Yes, Festivos.
Festivos, and
we'll trademark. We could probably just get the trademark on a Festivus. I'm sure they haven't done that work.
Yeah, so that's the other idea. If we have any members who are interested in helping out with that, please come forward. We're definitely open to running Festivos if we don't actually get Festivus. But yeah, shout out to Festivus and let them know that we want to host it. And why hasn't it been at our gym?
Although we haven't, to be fair, we haven't requested it since they've done that. So.
And yeah, again, they turned us down 2 times, so we just figured we were not going to get it. But future events coming up at CFP for sure, and there's some hope for stuff like that. Next question. What's the best core workout?
Back squatting.
Love this. Oh, darn it. You took yours quickly. Come on.
Yes, got it in there.
So, best core workout, I think a lot of times when people think this, they think directly just abdominal related. When we're thinking core, we're thinking our abdominals, our obliques, our lower back, just our entire core. And we're thinking something functional. That back squat, the way that it engages your core is extremely functional. Did we get a comment?
No, Sarah was booing Festivus.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Boo. But best core workout, you heard it here. Heavy back squats or heavy front squats. Fantastic core workout.
Front kettlebell carries are nasty.
Love that.
Yep, kettlebell front squats.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason we had to tell everybody to hold front rack nice and tight. That turns your core on a lot more instead of this. Anything that packs down your core. Think like you're carrying the heaviest grocery bags in the world, right? Your core is definitely turned down when you do that. the kind of movements that do that, that's what we're looking for in good core workouts.
Yeah, anytime. I mean, any barbell movement's really pretty much core.
And that's not to say that, GHD sit-ups are useless or ab mat sit-ups are useless. They have their place, but they're a little more isolation. I like GHD sit-ups for working the front of your hip flexors. I think that's a hard thing to do, and when they're done correctly, they're okay, but they're still pretty far down the list as far as best core exercises go, in my opinion.
100 ab mat sit-ups in a row before you do GHDs, people.
Yeah, 100 ab mat sit-ups. If you can do that,
Yes.
that is a killer workout.
Yes, Sarah, without a belt.
Next question. Nanos and Metcons don't exist. What's your number one go-to all-around best gym shoe?
That's easy. That was when I started CrossFit. Nanos and Metcons didn't exist.
Yeah.
So,
what do you got? What were you wearing back then, Josh?
Innovates. I was wearing Innovate, the 230s. But before that, I think most CrossFitters were wearing Converse.
Yeah, Josh took both of mine. Now, the thing about Innovates is they're kind of nostalgic. Like, if you didn't have a pair of Innovates that didn't burst out the sides, like, they weren't really Innovates.
Yep.
And
They're made for straight line running, not weightlifting.
and dynamic lateral movements.
Yeah.
So, Converse or Innovate. What is your favorite restaurant to eat at in Rochester that allows you to stay fairly healthy? I don't have a restaurant because I think I kind of gave up on that. I'm probably not the right person to ask that anyways because I don't go out very often. But as far as restaurant goes, I like to go to the food co-op because I can go to their salad bar there and eat fairly healthy, or they have a lot of to-go meals. And now I think that what's taken that place for me is probably Hy-Vee meals on the go. That's probably my favorite place to go out and eat. Sorry if that's a lame answer, but
Yeah, Hy-Vee's good. Jen and I eat there. Not only the takeout meals, but just their food there is good too. Otherwise, I do Chipotle occasionally.
yeah, you gotta have fun.
Yeah, I mean, even you can eat fairly well there. I mean, it's still high calorie, but
Except if you get food poisoning.
yeah. Nah. I want to take that over to the stocks, but let's not talk about stocks.
Yeah. Next question. Another episode we could do on just stocks.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on staying motivated during WODs on days where you just don't feel your best?
Why don't you feel your best, I guess, is my main question.
Let's do a hypothetical.
Are you overtraining? Is that why you don't feel your best?
So, and to spin off of that, like scientifically, you are never going to feel your best 100% of the time. And I think what the focus has to be is showing up consistently 3 to 4 times a week. If you can do that, long term, that's going to get you feeling your best. You can't, the day in, day out, you're going to have ups and downs like this all over the place.
Yeah,
But long term, those ups and downs really aren't that big of a deal when you look long picture, 5, 10 years, your lifetime of exercise out.
Yeah, I guess to answer the question, I would say just know that the magic is in the movement, and just moving is better than doing nothing. And if this happens a lot to you, you're probably overtraining. So we do have some people in the gym that do that. My latest kick is talking to people about recovery, I guess, because most of us aren't recovered very well. I took the entire week off before my last Spartan race and had a great race. It was very tough conditions, but it went very well. I think a lot of us get in the habit of I have to work out, when really coming in the gym and just chilling out sometimes is really good. Just spend some time on a rower, spend some time on a bike, just do some mobility, enjoy the people, and you don't need to go hard every day.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, it's not physically possible to go 100% every day. You can give 100% in your heart, but some days you got to show up and just go through the motions.
We should have an episode on CrossFit, how it was originally developed and what it how it originally worked before the gyms came around.
Yeah. 3 on, 1 off.
3 on, 1 off.
We'll have Jim Storm as a special guest.
3 on, 1 off, and one of those days you might just deadlift 7 times, and that would be it for the day.
Yeah. It's crazy. If you haven't ever spent any time on CrossFit.com and you've never heard of the workout of the day, like we didn't make that up. That's from CrossFit.com. Go check that out. It's very interesting. They literally recommend you take a day off every 3rd day.
Yep.
Yeah, and that is their.
That's to keep intensity up. So if you lose intensity, your workout will not be as effective. So
yeah, I know coaches. We talk about that a lot in the classes. Intensity, and it's not a joke.
Yeah,
it's for real. Yeah, we're gonna do an episode on that. That's a great idea. Next question. Whoopsies.
that's a lot of words.
A lot of words. So,
Is this from Ryan?
I don't think Ryan turned in any questions.
Oh, he's working on recovery, I think.
Okay, so for some reason I can't get this to the front. I'm not sure why. But anyways, nutrition is as, if not more important than working out. So nutrition is maybe more important than working out. I've helped a handful of people figure out the macros and be successful. Every single one, myself included, was not even eating close to enough, primarily protein. Do you see this regularly with people signing up for nutrition consulting? What advice would you have for more people that want to see gains, whether that's losing weight or building muscle, that don't want to track macros? So 2 questions. Do you regularly see deficiency in eating enough protein for people who come in for nutrition? Yes.
Yes, and not enough protein and too much of either carbs or fat. So for me, it was way too much fat. It still is. Not enough protein, too much fat.
I have too much fat for myself, but I like it. By like lunchtime, it's insane.
Yeah, I fell in love with olive oil now. So even though I eat I eat a salad every night, like every night.
Falling in love with olive oil.
Yeah, literally. Jen will contest after I get done eating. It's everywhere.
That's how you keep the head so shiny, isn't
it? Yeah. So I got some in my car before I drive home. I put it on so I look good. But so salad every night, and still the olive oil. Probably should have like 3 tablespoons. Maybe that's even too much, but I have way too much. But anyway, right. What's the second part of the question?
So the second part of the question, what advice do you have for people that want to see gains, whether that's losing weight or building muscle, that don't want to track macros?
How important are your goals, I guess?
Yeah.
That's what it always comes down to.
So starting with a goal, that's really important. Where do you want to be, and seeing yourself as, what are those results?
We could go down so many paths here. How often are you working out? If you're not working out every day, you can probably head towards a stricter paleo and not track your macros and be fine.
Yeah.
If you have like real appearance goals, though, you're going to need to track your macros.
Yes.
If you have real strength goals.
But what does that look like? Even like, because I think there's a lot of fear of like, oh my God, I'm just not that, I'm just not that serious about tracking every single little number that goes in. I think there's a misconception of that. Could you speak to that a little more?
What do you mean by misconception?
Like that every little macro has to be tracked or it falls apart. I mean, that's not the case.
No, that's not the case.
It's a lot easier than I think people think it is.
It's really easy.
Especially if you have apps.
You just need to do it for 2 weeks, and you pretty much can look at your plate and know what your macros are.
A lot of the apps just let you scan and it tells you the macros.
Also, if you use the app for 2 weeks, you can do it when you're asleep.
We're talking about HSN app, right?
Or MyFitnessPal.
MyFitnessPal is fantastic.
Yep.
If you want to get started with this, I would say too. I know a lot of people remember this. If you did Whole Life Challenge, I know I'm a product of the original Whole Life Challenge, and that totally changed how I ate. And this again was years ago, and I moved on to different things from then. But like Josh talked about, just a tighter paleo diet is going to help you out. I mean, again, we talked earlier about the
and in paleo, by paleo we mean real food.
Real food. If you go look at the CF Level 1 manual, they have a really simple phrase in the nutrition section that you could center your whole diet around. And this is whether you're counting macros or whether you aren't. I think it's important. It's eat lean meats, fruits, lots of vegetables, some fruits, little starch, nuts and seeds, and no sugar. It's not in that order specifically, but you guys get the point.
Pretty good.
If you can do those 6 things, I mean, you're going to be living a pretty healthy diet.
Yeah, the paleo diet, as prescribed in the level 1, works perfectly fine for the average person. Mm-hmm. When people started talking about how it didn't work for CrossFitters and how that all started, was basically because these people were not doing like CrossFit main site. So if you're working out 2 to 4 hours a day, you're going to need to take in more carbs than the paleo diet, strict paleo diet provides you. Sorry. So that's when I would say that doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah, well, it was written for someone who's doing pure CrossFit, which again might be 7 deadlifts for one day.
And how many workouts a week max is that? Because
Six workouts a week, 1 day off of rest, and like I said, one workout might be 7 deadlifts, one might be a 20-minute AMRAP, and the next one might be a 3-minute workout. So you don't need tons of calories to support that workload. However, if you're working out 5 to 10 hours a week, you're going to need a little more calories. And that's
or you're doing, maybe you're doing something on top of CrossFit, and CrossFit is your cross training. So like say I'm training for Spartan racing and I'm trying to do CrossFit at the same time, I'm going to have some insane caloric requirements probably to functionally be able to actually do that and sustain that style of training.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, we could talk to Jeremy and Nicole and ask how many calories and what they're eating a day, but it's significantly more than the average person needs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that was a really good question. So again, to sum that up, you could do a little bit of paleo if you're not interested in tracking macros, but if it comes down to it, you got to match it up. What it comes down to is you have to match it up with your goals. If your goal is to train every single day and to get ready for Spartan races, you probably are going to want to track some macros and make sure you're getting enough carbs, specifically fats, proteins, everything, right? Because you're going to need those demands more. Now, if you're doing more of a traditional CrossFit style setup, then you're going to want to stick with you could probably rock a paleo diet as recommended in the CF level 1, and actually I think that's more zone, isn't it, in the level 1 manual?
Yeah, zone, which is macros.
Which is macros and just broken down into blocks.
But yeah, don't want to track macros. The first step would be just to simply clean up your diet. I mean, that's the simplest
Eat
thing.
real food. We said that for years, and people are like, what does that mean?
Reduce your processed carbs, and you'll make progress.
If you just cut out grains, processed carbs, and sugar, you're gonna see a drastic change in just in a month or two, I would say. If you could do that.
For most people, yeah.
Yeah, for most people, especially if you have. I know when I did it, I had a lot of weight to use. If you remember me when I first came into the gym, I was a little heavier than I am now.
I've got the photos.
Yeah, the first whole life challenge, I think I went from 220 down to about 190 within a two month period from just cleaning up my diet, like you just talked about. It wasn't anything serious.
The whole life challenge, when it first started too, it was so novel that you would go to the grocery store and you couldn't buy anything. Mm-hmm. But now with the whole life challenge, there's so much stuff that fits into that window that it's really hard to.
It's not what it used to be.
Get those same results because there's so many foods that fall into the okay foods, but they're really not. They're still processed.
Yeah, if you've done the whole life challenge, but you didn't do the original one, there was only one level, and it was like, what are the different levels they have in it now?
They have 3 levels now.
It was like the hardest level, and everybody had to do that.
It was like the whole 30 pretty much.
Yeah.
But the difference is there's so many more foods now that there weren't before. So basically, the whole life challenge works because it's calorie restriction. That's why most new diets work, because people don't know what to eat, so they don't eat as much.
Weird. I felt super tired when I did that.
Yeah. And then they figured it out, and they gained the weight back because they figured out how to eat.
Yeah.
Around the.
And don't get us wrong. It's a great reset, whole 30, whole life challenge, but it's not necessarily sustainable for the rest of your life. For most people, it isn't.
Any more questions?
That is it.
Cool.
So that's all we got today for the question and answer. Closing.
Unless you got any questions, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to talk here for just a second and close things up. Josh will be looking. If you have any questions you want us to answer, post them now, or you're going to have to wait till next week. Our reigning question asker is Ryan Seafelt. Congratulations to Ryan.
He didn't ask you this week, though? Did he ask you this week?
You don't even want to see the chart on how many he asked this week.
Oh, he did ask some this week.
He asked, we had 23 responses, and of those 23, 18 were from Ryan. So, if somebody's out there listening, Ryan needs a challenger. Ryan needs a challenger, so ask your questions. Get them ready next week. Now, some of the questions we did have were from, I picked all the questions that weren't from Ryan, and then I picked a handful from Ryan, since he asked the most. In closing, anyways.
I have one question I have to answer. So Tim asked why Nick is so dang sexy. and I think it's because he's sitting next to me.
Perfect. It's like yin and yang here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim. Good to hear from you, man. Anything else?
No. You got any sweet beats to send this out.
Oh, we're going to have some sweet beats to send us out with. Don't forget, next week I'm going to post the questions that you can ask on here. We'll see if we can get some guests on here in the future. Keep asking questions. We'll keep answering them. All right. And we have a couple great ideas for some upcoming shows to just have specific shows on those like we talked about today. Coming up next week, so this is test week right now. Next week we'll be going back into a new training cycle. You're going to see some of the similar movements. You're going to see some new movements coming in. Where we're going to be going is we're going to be getting away from the higher volume like you've seen, and we're going to be going down to less repetitions, meaning you're going to be able to raise your weights. You'll see some familiar movements still, back squats. You'll see some deadlifts still in the strength portion, but you're all going to also see some new stuff of like what I like to call max effort training. Max effort training that's going to repeat our interval running, or it's going to replace our interval runs that we were doing, like our 800-meter runs and whatnot. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited for it. Also, we heard a lot of good feedback about bodybuilding. You're going to see some bodybuilding days come back into the strength portion with a specific focus on strict pull-ups. So I'm really excited for that. You guys should be really excited for that. I'm going to do another programming post later on this weekend too. You'll hear more about it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Sweet beats.